Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. And in the headlines this morning, CNN's front page. In 1983, the EPA chief was forced to resign. That's the Environmental Protection Agency. Her son was watching. And of course, her son is Neil Gorsuch, who was installed as Supreme Court Justice April 7th, 2017, shortly after Trump took office, replacing Antonin Scalia, who died during Lupercalia at the end of Obama's term. And here we have another family thing going on in the federal government. And until today, I didn't realize that Neil Gorsuch's mother was once part of a federal administration. But I want you to see what's so interesting about her very premature death back in 2004. It fits a very familiar pattern, and if you've read my book, Letters and Numbers, I talk about the installation of Neil Gorsuch as Supreme Court Justice in it. Again, that's in Letters and Numbers. And the two big numbers that I point out with his installation are 187 and 88, among others. But 187 and 88. Now let's go back and look at his mother's death on the 18th day of the 7th month, having had federal office. And notice where she died too, Aurora, Colorado, remembered for the Batman shooting and a lot of other shooting related stories and other media weirdness, if you will. But July 18th can be written 18/7, like 187, which of course is used as a homicide code by many police departments. In Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words, Neil Gorsuch equals 187. Again, his mother died on 18/7. He's Jesuit educated. He went to Georgetown Prep, just like a lot of the people on the Supreme Court did. Society of Jesus, of course, equals 187. So does Washington, D.C. So does Holy Roman Empire. So does George Washington. So that's the 187 piece. And let's not forget Ruth Bader Ginsburg recently died 187 days after her birthday on the anniversary of the cornerstone being laid for D.C. on September 18th. Let's not forget that her husband also died on June 27th, the day leaving 187 days left in the year. And the list goes on. But from her April 21st birthday, this is Ann Gorsuch's birthday, born April 21st, in 42. By the way, today's story comes on 42 date numerology. We'll get to that. But from her April 21st birthday to her July 18th death was 88 days later. And again, Gematria, based on the alphabetic order, also the alphabetic order with numerology, and then, of course, the reverse alphabetic order and the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. But notice, Neil Gorsuch is 187 and 88. George Washington is 187 and 88. Holy Roman Empire is 187 and 88. And notice how the word judge and gavel has the 88 in it, as does Trump. You see how judge and gavel are the exact same in all four base ciphers, 47, 20, 88, 25. Notice how Trump has the 88, 47, 25 in his name. 97 is the 25th prime number. Supreme equals 97. Gorsuch was sworn in on the 97th day of the year, April 7th, 47, like 47. But notice how she also died in Aurora, which equals 88. And her name that she went by at the time of being in the federal government, her maiden name plus her marriage name, Ann Gorsuch Buford, as she's named in the article, also equals 88. And as we've talked about so many times, the Jesuits, it's been written many times over centuries that they kill people with arsenic poisoning. This is like their go-to method of taking out their enemies. And seemingly just people ritualistically. But arsenic poisoning, Gematria of 187, and when you use numerology, 88. She died on 18/7, 88 days after her birthday. Only for her son to take federal office 13 years later in the land of 13 stripes that began with 13 colonies, where we go to school for 13 years and don't learn about any of the secret societies that are occupied in D.C., from the Masons to the Jesuits. But arsenic poisoning, 187 and 88, just like poison alone's 88. Seen that combination so many times. Remember Trump, who appointed Gorsuch, who put in the most federal judges in a single term of any president when Trump's name overlaps with judge in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. But with regards to her dying in the town where the Batman shooting happened, remember, Trump said, "I am Batman." a theme that came up a number of times. And let's not forget at the beginning of last year, April 4th, 2023, when he was in New York City in the same courtroom where they just filmed the latest Joker scene. And it was on what would have been the 44th birthday of Heath Ledger, who died while filming as the Joker in the Batman movie at that time. But Gorsuch went to Georgetown Prep. And go figure that when his mother died, it was 42 days before his birthday that year. Again, today's story comes on a 42 date numerology. Georgetown equals 42 like Jesuit. Notice they give us this story also while Gorsuch is 56 years old. Society of Jesus, the Small Way, is 56 like Washington, D.C. He'll turn 57 later this year, like Supreme Court's 57, like Georgetown the other way is 57, like how it was established in 1789, the year George Washington became president at age 57. Like Scottish Rites 57, who has their headquarters in D.C., and their rites were written by Jesuit priests. But yeah, these are the people, working by the code on their calendar that was once created by a Jesuit priest. Again, the calendar that all this is synced up with, created by Mr. Clavius back in the 16th century, another Jesuit. Oh, by the way, the story about her resigning from the EPA federal office, it happened on March 3rd, 3-3. As we know, federal order, secrecy, masonry, they're all 33. She resigned 49 days before her birthday that year. Washington's 49, like America, like Scottish. She resigned in 83. Anne Gorsuch Buford is also 83. We know what that number has to do with murder. The song Murder by Numbers in 83. Today's 353 weeks after Gorsuch became Supreme Court Justice. That's the 71st prime, like Catholic 71. Probably not an accident. But yeah, today with the 42 date numerology as well. And her death obviously had a lot to do with 42 days before her son's birthday. So RIP to her. And again, just more evidence of who's running the show. And let's not forget right there on the screen, E. Jean Carroll. Again, this thing that's happening right now is 54 months after she first made the accusations in June 2019. Remember, Jesuit order equals 54. John Carroll equals 54. John Carroll founded Georgetown at age 54, and then founded Georgetown Prep at age 56, like Society of Jesus is 56. So, and again, Donald Trump went to Fordham, Jesuit University in New York, with a long history of 88, going with all the Trump 88s. Going with Oprah, interviewing Trump in 88 about if he'd want to be president someday. The script was all written way back when. All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time.